Today's video is sponsored by Surfshark VPN. So I've been sponsored by Surfshark for a while and I've had a few questions. For instance, my mate Steve asked me last week if Surfshark has servers on Mars. Not yet, I said, but it does have them in 65 countries, enabling you to access content not available in your home country, as well as enabling you to gain access to region-specific pricing when shopping online. Is it secure from, say, Earth's defense forces, he asked. Well, I said, its advanced encryption means that you can browse securely without being spied upon by governments or corporations, if that's what you mean. Can I use it on my entire invasion fleet, he asked. I assume so, I said. After all, Surfshark can be used on unlimited devices. Not only that, but if you follow the link in the description below and enter the code JAGO, you can get 83% off and 3 months extra free. When my people invade, your human currency will be worthless, he said. Not sure what he meant by that, but anyway, Surfshark. Steve might not like it, but I'm sure you will. Now, on with the video. So, here we are, the newest line on the Underground. One section dates back to 1979, the other to 1999. How many name changes could there be? Well, more than you might expect. The section from Finchley Road to Stanmore is actually far older than the Jubilee line. It used to be the Bakerloo line, and before that it used to be the Metropolitan line, and before that it used to be the Metropolitan Railway. All right then, let's start in the west and tackle those older stations first. Cannons Park was opened in 1932 when it had the name Cannons Park Edgware. But this name only lasted a year, at which point it lost the Edgware part. I suspect that this is probably because 1933 was when the line officially became part of the Underground, and the new management didn't want it getting confused with the other Edgware station. Queensbury has never changed its name, but there is an interesting story behind that name. When the station was built in 1934, there was nothing much in the area, so a competition was held to name the new station. Queensbury was chosen, and the town took its name from the station. In 1880, Neasden Station opened with the name Kingsbury and Neasden. In 1910, the names were swapped, and in 1932, the actual Kingsbury Station was opened. So that part of the name was dropped altogether. And no, it's not a coincidence that Kingsbury is next to Queensbury. Willesden Green was opened with the name Willesden Green and Cricklewood in 1879. I'm not clear exactly when the Cricklewood bit was removed, but the present station was built in 1925 and has the name Willesden Green built in, and no space for Cricklewood. Also in 1879, Kilburn Station was opened, or Kilburn and Brondesbury as it was originally known. The name was changed in 1950. The Metropolitan seem to have wanted to have their cake and eat it when they named stations. That's the third one we've encountered that's named after two places. And this isn't even a video about the Metropolitan line. Green Park has been known as Green Park for as long as the Jubilee line has been there, but when the Piccadilly line first opened the station, it was called Dover Street. In 1933, the station was modernised and the opportunity was taken to give it a new name, which it still carries to this very day. Westminster was originally Westminster Bridge when the District Railway opened it in 1868, but in 1907 the bridge was dropped. Not literally, though. From Westminster to Stratford, the line is all completely new. Well, relatively speaking. I mean, it was opened in 1999, so it's over 20 years old, and I just became very aware of my own mortality. Long story short, that means that most of the stations haven't been renamed, they just haven't had time. However, the Jubilee line had a very complicated gestation and underwent a lot of permutations before they decided on the stations we got. So there are a number of stations on the 1999 extension that might have had different names. In the planning stages in the 70s, there was to be a station roughly where Canada Water was that might have gone by the name of Surrey Docks North. At the time, Surrey Quays Station was known as Surrey Docks. Canary Wharf is one of the best-known districts in London these days, but in the 1970s it was just a lot of derelict dockland. There was no notion that this might one day be a major business district. In the 70s, the station planned here would have been called Millwall, though again it might not have been on this exact spot. When the Docklands Light Railway planned their station here, it was originally to have been called Canary Quay. It was the arrival of the Canary Wharf development in the early 90s that cemented the area's name. And cemented the area generally. Lot of building work around here. Lot of building work. Canning Town has technically always been Canning Town, but I will mention that the first station built here in 1847 was named Barking Road. It was renamed in 1873. The station was rebuilt in 1888, slightly north of the present station. Then the present station came along in 1994, roughly where the original station was. Whether you think that means the station counts as having been renamed or not is up to you. Another one that changed its name long before the Jubilee line arrived was West Ham. This first opened in 1901 as a joint station owned by the North London Railway and the London Tilbury and Southend Railway. Between 1924 and 1969, though, it was called West Ham Manor Road. And that is the last of them. Of course, you could point out that none of these were actually Jubilee line stations when they were renamed. You could also point out how inconsistent I've been in what I count as a renamed station over the duration of this miniseries. But what's important is family. Well, I do hope you enjoyed this silver grey tale from the tube. If so, then please consider clicking the like button and subscribing for more, perhaps even hitting the notification bell, why not? Thanks to my donors on Ko-fi and Patreon for your ever-generous support. You are the Queensberry to my Kingsbury. Thanks also to Surfshark for sponsoring this video. Check out the link in the description to take advantage of their offer. And I'll see you all again very soon for another tale from the tube.